Leg 1 of the 2017-2018 Volvo Ocean Race to Lisbon continued to provide drama and excitement right until the very end of the week-long opening salvo, which featured days of teams stalking one another and, in some cases, experiencing gear failure in the middle of the night.
Oh, the pins come out of the furling unit under load and the sails dropped in the piss. I don't know how, but we've recovered really nicely. Could have cost us 3 spots just then.
Vestas 11th Hour Racing continued to defend the lead that established within a day of the start, sailing a near-perfect leg. Simon Fisher, navigator of Vestas 11th Hour Racing, maximizing every opportunity in the varying weather to hold back Spanish team Mapfre's continued attacks.
So what time is it? It's about 3 in the morning, I think, and yeah, we're just coming to our rounding mark, so in about 20 minutes or so we'll be going back downwind and finally on our way, well, pointing almost at Lisbon.
AkzoNobel rounded the virtual waypoint after Porto Santo in 3rd, just ahead of Dongfeng Race Team in 4th. Both teams aimed their bows at Lisbon in what would be a sprint now to the finish. Dongfeng Race Team found an extra gear, sailing away from Team AkzoNobel as they approached Lisbon on the final day. At the rear of the fleet, Baobeking's Team Brunel were locked into their own battle with Decathlon's Turn the Tide on Plastic, within sight of one another right until the very end.
It's pretty cool, pretty intense, it's been pretty close for like a couple of days now. They're about 400 metres in front of us, sailing a little bit higher, and we've got like, I don't know, 12 to 14 knots of breeze, so it's just in the crossover of a couple of sails, and we're on different sails at the moment, and we're doing the same speed and same height.
Vestas 11th Hour Racing defend their lead right to the Lisbon finish, taking leg 1 victory. Spain's Mapfre continued to battle all the way to the finish for 2nd, as did Dongfeng Race Team, who had fought back from last place earlier in the leg to claim a creditable 3rd.
Yeah, it feels good. You know, we've come to this thing a little late in the piece, but we feel like we've assembled a good team, and we've been improving, certainly, every time we've been on the boat. And, you know, it's nice to see some of that come to fruition here in leg 1.
Super happy with the result. I think 2nd is a very solid, good result, and exactly what we need. You know, we've said so many times that this time is going to be even tighter. It's a very good cruise in all the boats, and it's going to be very hard. So it's always good in a one design regatta to start with 2nd.
Really difficult start for us. A very good start, and first night nightmare, and second day nightmare. Very big problem of speed. In Gibraltar we hit many things, and probably one fish, and maybe it was one of the best things we did, because we had to do reverse for that, and after that we find the speed of Dongfeng was back, and we managed to come back slowly.
Australian David Witt, skipper of Sung Hung Kai Scallywag, hung on to a well-earned 5th place, despite running aground on a dropping tide in a last-ditch attempt to overhaul Team AkzoNobel, forcing the team to swim 2 anchors out in the channel and winch themselves off the bottom to drift across the finish line.
We gave ourselves every chance to beat Akzo by coming along the shoreline where the breeze was, and then obviously the breeze died out and we got stuck on the bottom, and Parko and Goffey had to swim in the anchor at 90 degrees out to get us off the bank so we didn't hit the rocks, and then pull the sails down and drift in the current across the finish line.
Baobeking's Team Brunel finished just ahead of Decathlon and Turned the Tide on Plastic.
Yeah, it was not the start we expected, and but we were very slow during the whole leg, or nearly the whole leg. So that's the thing where we have to figure out what it is. And but it was important that at least we beat Turn the Tide, because every point will probably be very important in the end. So at least it was an exciting finish. So that's probably the best part of it.
The week-long Lisbon stopover gives the teams a chance to regroup and prepare for the upcoming 7,000 nautical mile marathon to Cape Town, South Africa, starting Sunday.